Hey, I'm Robbie, and I'm going to take you through a tour of our production van here at Madlight Films. Before we completely unpack the van, I wanted to give you a tour of how we have this set up. Where the gear is placed is done on purpose so that it allows us to be more efficient and know where everything goes every time. Here on the driver's side of the van, we have an aperture spotlight. We have the nesting apple box, which we usually bring. We have 5 to 6 25-pound sandbags. At the rear, we have this innovative Voyager 42 cart. We put our camera gear at the bottom, just on this shelf. Since it's a little bit low right here, we can't pack anything at the top here usually, but all that fits right there. We have a modified rock and roller cart for our C-stands, as well as our 2 digital combo stands. Under these 2 carts, we have space to put plenty of different gear underneath. In between these 2 carts here, we have a 4x4 silk, we have a 4x4 floppy, and then we have a 24x36 nag right here. And then we have just a foam board that we use for bounce. Here on the side of the door, we have these tennis balls that we can add to our stands, as well as this bag filled with random accessories. Eventually we'll put something here so that we can mount the other accessories and get more A-clamps. There's more stuff I want to add to this van, but what we have here works. Sometimes you gotta tuck your balls in, otherwise, they get a little pinched. On the passenger side of the van, we have our lights, we have a milk crate, we have our Fresnel, any other accessories go here for lights. And then here on this side, we also have access to our gimbal, XLR cables, stingers hanging off the front of this cart. Because we don't own a full-size transit van, we wanted to make sure that it was easy to get to all of our gear, and so this sort of open concept that we have going here allows us to be able to pull equipment out however we need to without having to pull out the carts all the way out, and that just gives us ease of access. We carry enough equipment to tackle on most corporate jobs and small commercial work on our own. Now, most of the time we're working with other production companies and they have gear as well. So with their equipment and ours, it's usually more than enough for what we need to complete the job. If we need to scale up, for example, if we're on a bigger commercial job and we need more lighting, more grip, then we're gonna hire out a gaffer and they're usually gonna bring their own kit. Either that or we'll rent from a rental house for more stands, whatever. Sometimes specialty rigs, we might require speed rail, all that sorts of stuff. The goal with the van is to make it possible to do a variety of different setups and also be mobile. It's still a work in progress, but so far all of the stuff that we've kind of curated has allowed us to do a lot of setups. There are still additional stuff that I would like to get, such as additional grip like Mayfair clamps and Cardellini's. Let's just get right to it, and I'm gonna walk you through the different equipment and kind of what the mindset was for having it in the van. Here's our camera cart. Right now we have on top our camera bag, which we usually have the FX6 and FX3 in. We have a Canon Zeiss lens kit. We have this tool bag. This tool bag is from Harbor Freight, and we just have it loaded with a variety of different accessories and tools, such as this flathead screwdriver. We like this so that we can quickly grab and go wherever we need to. And then here we just have 2 clamps with our boom pole stuck onto it. Additionally, with camera, we carry 2 tripods. We have a Manfrotto, a smaller kind of on-the-go tripod, and then we actually won this from NAB, this Terrace tripod right here. This is literally our workhorse tripod that we use for our FX6. And it's been with us a short amount of time, but we have used it a lot. So shout out to Terrace and Indie Pro Tools for that. My favorite thing about this cart is probably the front of this cart, where we have 2 Mayfers and these metal rods that we use to hang a variety of different stuff. Usually we have our gimbal right here, and then we have XLR, as well as a variety of different stingers. Right now we don't have them with us, but usually we carry at least 2 50-foot stingers. And then if we come around to the front of the cart, all of our lights are pretty much Aperture or Amaran. So funnily enough, we've actually won a lot of our equipment through either contests or giveaways. Solomon won this one through an Instagram contest that Aperture hosted, which was for this 300D Mark II, this F21C, a lantern, I forget what the size, but it was a lantern, as well as an MC. And then here to finish off what we have for lighting, we have a 600X and then a light dome. And then if we want some hard light, we've got the Fresnel. We have a couple of lights that we own that's not all here. We have a couple in our studio that we keep for there, but if there's like a bigger creative project that we're doing, then we might pull those from the studio. It's just a variety of Amaran lights. We also own a 4-light RE tungsten light kit, and then we also own a couple of other accessories such as another lantern. We have an additional light dome, a variety of different things. Depending on the job that we're doing, then we might pull from what we have at our equipment and bring them on our van. But this is typically what we always bring. So we're gonna move on to our lighting modifiers. And what we have is a 4x4 floppy from our friend Aggie. She's letting us hold on to it since it didn't fit into her car, but we bring it whenever we're on gigs with her. We also have a 4x4 silk. What's cool is that with this van, it's just the right size to fit this size, and that's pretty nice. But you do have to put it into the van a certain way in order for it to fit. We have a 2x3 solid right here, and then we have a bounce card that we use for bounce. So pretty much with this setup, what's cool is that we can do both indoor and outdoor lighting setups. As you can see, we're gonna show a documentary right here, just a still or maybe some clips of it.
You know, most people don't know this, but as a little kid, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I wanted to be on TV and call sporting events. It was a privilege that he asked me. If you could ask him today, and bless his soul, he's been gone for a year now, but if you asked him or me, you would have never thought I would have been doing it 36 years later.
He and Pat were a good team, for one thing.
He's way more responsible than he is. So we were like, you're in good hands, we will allow it. He was gonna be flying from Denver to Houston, and we had stayed in touch with them because they're only 16 and 17, so we had stayed in touch with the kiddos. I said, hey, I tell you what, I will come get you guys at the airport. Just because it was a late hour, it's in a part of town we're not too familiar with, and so he was like, let's just go together.
But if we need to do an outdoor shoot, then we have this to diffuse the sun. We have this to block out any unwanted sun, like for our interviewer, if we want them to be comfortable, whoever else is on set, we have this. And then anything else, if we need to bounce and do quick B-roll where we're, walking around town and we don't, obviously it's just the 2 of us and we need some additional lighting, then this is an easy way to get some additional light on someone's face. We've got a couple of stands at our disposal. We've got 2 digital combo stands. What's great about these stands is that they can reach, I believe, up to 13 feet in height, but they're a bit lighter than your typical combo stands. I believe it weighs 22 pounds, if I'm correct. Might have to look it up. But I decided on going with these because they're slightly lighter, but they're still pretty heavy duty. And I didn't want to do a triple riser because those are really heavy, and there just wasn't a need to have something that big. But these work out great. We use this for something like this, where we want to boom a light behind someone. This works out pretty great for that. But I also use it to mount our 600X when I can, because I just prefer having a sturdier base. And what's great is that this pretty much rises pretty high. I mean, especially when you're talking about doing outdoor setups, this is the primary stands that I go to for mounting our lighting modifiers, especially when it's a little bit windy. So I love these stands. And then moving on, we have 4 C-stands. We have 2 from ProMaster and then 2 from Avenger. The 2 from ProMaster used to have arms. I don't know where they went, but we have 2 arms right here. And yeah, this is just the right amount of knuckles for us too, that it allows us to. We have just like the right amount of stuff. So I do want to get some more stuff for grip, but it works. And then lastly, we have this rolling stand, also from Avenger. I love the stand because we can use it as a monitor stand, or sometimes we'll put on a first AC focus pulling kit on here too, and that's nice to roll around indoors. To carry the grip equipment, we use this rock and roller. This rock and roller cart has been modified to carry C-stands or any sort of stands. And what I mean by that is we have added 2 bars here so that we can put the C-stands on top, and then below we will actually put the combo stands. Additionally, we have some tabs here so that this can't fold in. We found that when we first got it, this stand, even though we weren't really loading it that much, moving it around certain spots would cause some flex in the metal and cause it to bend, and so we just welded it. So shout out to Spencer for welding this stuff for us, because now we have a sturdy cart for on-the-go C-stands. As well as putting the C-stands on here, at the bottom on top of the combo stands, we'll put these sandbags. We have 5 sandbags, all 25 pounds. So this cart is great for carrying our grip. We can wheel it around, roll it around without worrying about any sort of major hiccups. And then we have this milk crate right here. Sometimes this comes with us, sometimes it doesn't. We have random stuff in here right now. One of those studio lights is actually in here, an Amaran 200DS. But eventually we'll load it up with some more Mathelinis, all that sorts of stuff that you really need. And then I think the last thing that we have in our kit is a nesting apple box. So we wanted to make use of the space that we have in the van, so nesting apple box just makes sense to do that. I think some of you guys who do production know what these are, but these come in clutch for making someone eyeline correct, propping different stuff on set. Our good friend Jonathan drew on it thinking this was the back of this lid. It wasn't. So Now we got Frankenstein. yeah, or some sort of character on here. Someone. Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool, adds character.
Today we're at a shoot in Houston, and we have our van inside of the client's building, and we're just going to show you the process of how we pack this van up.
It's never gonna be the same.
Swagger wagon.
Real smooth. Perfect for the video.
On the 300.
I don't think it's straightforward. Cut.
I'll fix that later.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Right down the middle.
Yep. You do do need to upgrade the straps, but these work just fine. You know, we put on the brakes on these. We put on the brakes on here, and then we put these on. And then just tighten it down. And we have stuff in the front which helps keep these two things from also moving. And then there's brakes on these wheels. Yep. And another gig done.
Mission accomplished.
Cheers.
Tally ho.
That
Keep saying it.
Currently, we are based out of Austin, but we travel all over Texas, and sometimes we will travel out of state for gigs. So if you need any work done, or if you're interested in collaborating with us, then please feel free to email us at team@madlightfilms.com. You can also email me personally at solomon@madlightfilms.com. And if you like the video, if you like what we're doing, or if you have any questions, please comment down below, leave a like, and subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see you on the next one.